Welcome back to Swift Recaps. Today we're diving into a darker, more intense take on a story you might think you know. The story begins deep in the heart of the Indian jungle, an unforgiving and breathtakingly beautiful place where every creature knows its place within the intricate web of life. This delicate balance is shattered one fateful day when Shere Khan, a massive tiger, scarred from countless battles, launches a brutal attack on a human village. The terror is palpable. Flames rage, people scream in panic, and chaos erupts across the landscape. The destruction is swift and relentless, and when the smoke clears, only one survivor remains, an infant boy, abandoned and defenseless, a symbol of everything that's been torn apart. In this moment, we're introduced to the brutal reality of the jungle, where the fight for survival isn't just about beasts versus humans, it's about the destruction of everything that once was. As the sun rises over the smoldering ruins, a solitary figure emerges from the shadows. Bagheera, a sleek black panther with eyes that shine like molten gold. He surveys the devastation, his instincts at war with his heart. Bagheera knows that the natural order of the jungle would have been for the human child to be left behind, to die in the aftermath of the violence. Yet something stirs within him, an urge to protect, to defy the law of the jungle. He takes the infant in his mouth and, despite his reluctance, carries the child through the dense jungle. It's an act that will shape the boy's destiny and forever alter the balance of the jungle. Footnote: Bagheera arrives at a wolf pack led by Akela, the wise and commanding alpha, who represents the jungle's strict code. The pack is curious and unsettled by the sudden appearance of the human cub. The wolves, powerful and instinctual, are creatures of ancient law and tradition, but Raksha, a fierce and protective wolf, steps forward. Her maternal instincts override the pack's skepticism. She recognizes the child's vulnerability and decides to take him in. She names him Mowgli, marking the beginning of his new life. Under Raksha's care and Akela's guidance, Mowgli grows, learning the rules of the jungle, respect for the circle of life, survival at all costs, and the responsibility that comes with belonging to a pack. These early moments introduce us to the harshness of the jungle, but also to the beauty of loyalty and the bonds formed when survival depends on each other. From a young age, it becomes evident that Mowgli is different. Though he is raised by the wolves, there's a palpable tension between his human instincts and his wolf-like upbringing. While he loves his wolf siblings and desperately wants to fit in, his human tendencies, his curiosity, his intellect, often place him at odds with them. Mowgli's internal struggle is clear from the start. He's not quite human, but he's also not fully accepted in the animal world. Bagheera, ever the wise mentor, watches over him like a guiding spirit. He sees potential in Mowgli, but he also knows that the jungle is a brutal teacher and that the boy must understand the harsh realities of this world if he is to survive. Throughout this period, Mowgli's feelings of alienation become more pronounced. Despite his affection for his adoptive family, there's a deep yearning within him to find where he truly belongs. As Mowgli matures, his education takes a more disciplined turn. Bagheera, recognizing the boy's untapped potential, enlists the help of Baloo, a gruff and no-nonsense bear. However, this isn't the jovial, carefree Baloo we remember from childhood stories. Instead, this Baloo is a taskmaster who understands the jungle's unforgiving nature. He teaches Mowgli the skills necessary for survival, climbing trees, finding food, and evading predators. The lessons are intense, grueling, and often merciless. Baloo's method is not just about physical strength, but about understanding the jungle's laws and learning how to outwit the many dangers that lurk. Through these training sequences, we witness a transformation in Mowgli, a shift from a naive child to someone who begins to understand the brutal reality of the world around him. But despite his physical training and growing prowess, Mowgli's human ingenuity continues to set him apart. While it gives him an edge, it also creates distance between him and his fellow wolves, further isolating him. Just as Mowgli begins to find some semblance of peace, the jungle is rocked by the return of Shere Khan. The tiger, his rage and scars from past battles a constant reminder of his violent nature, strides through the jungle with the force of a storm. His hatred for humans runs deep, and Mowgli, as the living symbol of humanity, becomes his target. Shere Khan's arrival is more than just a personal vendetta. It's a reminder that the jungle will never be at peace as long as humans continue to encroach upon it. The tiger's presence sends shockwaves through the wolf pack. Shere Khan openly challenges Akela's leadership, weakening the alpha's authority and sowing discord. The wolves, once united under a shared sense of tradition and survival, now begin to question whether harboring Mowgli is worth the danger it brings. This tension creates a fragile atmosphere in the jungle, where even the smallest mistake by Mowgli could lead to disaster. In a desperate attempt to prove his worth to the pack, Mowgli participates in the running, a grueling rite of passage designed to test the strength and agility of young wolves. The event is an intense trial of endurance and skill, meant to separate the strong from the weak. Mowgli gives it everything he has, pushing himself to his limits, determined to earn his place. However, his human limitations soon become apparent. As the challenge intensifies, it becomes clear that Mowgli's abilities, shaped by human traits rather than pure instinct, are not enough. In a moment of desperation, Mowgli breaks an unspoken rule of the jungle. He uses a human tool, a knife, to help him keep up. The act is a devastating betrayal in the eyes of the pack. The wolves, who value tradition above all else, see this as a fundamental violation of their laws. Mowgli's actions confirm their fears. He is not one of them. This heartbreaking moment marks a turning point in Mowgli's journey, as he realizes that no matter how hard he tries, he will never truly fit in. The internal conflict Mowgli faces intensifies as he grapples with feelings of rejection, loneliness, and the realization that the jungle may not be his home after all. In the wake of this rejection, Mowgli begins to question everything: his place in the jungle, his identity, and his future. Seeing his despair, Bagheera gently suggests that perhaps Mowgli might find a new home among humans. Reluctantly, Mowgli leaves the jungle, setting out for the edge of the human village, uncertain of what he will find. The village is a world entirely foreign to him. The stark contrast between the untamed jungle and the structured, orderly human world is overwhelming. As Mowgli observes from the shadows, he is fascinated by the humans, yet terrified by their strange customs and tools. The village represents both curiosity and fear, as Mowgli realizes that this world might hold answers, but also further confusion. It's here that Mowgli's longing for identity reaches a critical point, as he begins to explore the possibility that humans may hold the key to his future. However, Mowgli's quiet exploration of the village is abruptly interrupted when he is captured by the villagers. Taken in by John Lockwood, a seasoned hunter with a complex, layered personality, Mowgli begins to experience the human world firsthand. At first, Lockwood treats Mowgli with a mix of kindness and curiosity, intrigued by the boy's wild nature. Lockwood becomes something of a mentor, teaching Mowgli the ways of the human world, how to use tools, how to speak their language, and how to navigate their customs. Mowgli's initial fascination with the human world grows as he learns more, yet a darker side of humanity soon emerges. Lockwood is a trophy hunter, and his home is filled with the skins of animals Mowgli once called family. The discovery of Lockwood's brutal, exploitative nature shatters Mowgli's perception of humans. The betrayal forces Mowgli to confront the inherent violence that lies beneath the surface of human civilization, and he begins to feel a deep sense of disillusionment. His desire for belonging grows more intense, but so does his yearning for the raw, untamed jungle he once called home. Torn between two worlds, Mowgli faces a critical decision, one that will ultimately shape the course of his journey. Armed with newfound wisdom and a better understanding of himself, Mowgli decides to return to the jungle. No longer the innocent boy who first wandered into the wilderness. He's now a unique being, caught between two worlds, yet no longer defined by either. His self-acceptance gives him the strength to face what lies ahead. Upon his return, Mowgli is met with the deafening roar of Shere Khan, who sees Mowgli's return as a direct challenge to his dominance. The stage is set for a climactic showdown that will determine the fate of the jungle. The battle between Mowgli and Shere Khan is intense, fierce, and emotionally charged. Mowgli, using the skills he has learned from both the jungle and humanity, devises a clever plan to outwit the tiger. Fire, traps, and cunning become his weapons as he faces Shere Khan head-on. The fight is harrowing, and each moment underscores Mowgli's courage, resilience, and determination. His victory over the fearsome tiger is not just a triumph over the beast. It is a personal victory, a validation of Mowgli's strength and identity. He has proven himself, not through violence, but through the knowledge, resourcefulness, and bravery that make him who he is. The jungle, once a place of harsh rules and alienation, now stands in awe of Mowgli's journey. With Shere Khan defeated, peace returns to the jungle, but things are no longer the same. The wolves, led by Akela, finally recognize Mowgli as one of their own, not because he is the same as them, but because he has proven his worth in ways no one else could. Mowgli stands as a bridge between two worlds. His place in the jungle is no longer defined by tradition or conformity, but by his unique abilities and his courage. This version of the Jungle Book offers more than just a tale of survival. It's a deep exploration of identity, belonging, and the strength found in embracing one's uniqueness. Mowgli's journey reminds us that true strength comes from accepting who we are, even when the world around us refuses to understand. If you're drawn to stories of resilience, self-discovery, and the beauty of finding one's place in the world, this adaptation is a must-watch. It offers not just adventure, but a deep reflection on what it means to belong. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more epic recaps.